We've been up since 6 and I've got my journal here and I'm doing some breakfast right now. I've done some reflecting and there's something I wanted to share with you guys. I only have 15% on my camera, so hopefully it lasts. This is literally a raw reflection which I want to share with you guys. It's talking about how to control your emotions, and I thought about it. When you see someone with a callus on their hand, you straight away know that this person is a physically strong person. If you don't have callus on your hand, you're not a physically strong person. One of the biggest problems that I had was that I was such an emotional person. Like, I would let my emotions dictate the way that I would act. So if I was happy one day, then I would do things in a good mood, and I would actually do things. When I was in a sad mood, I'd listen to XXXTentacion for the whole day, and then I just want to sleep and do nothing productive, and I'll just have this victim mentality because things were not going the best, but I would let that affect the way I would do things, which in turn will give you a result. One thing I want you to remember, take your emotions out of the situation. Imagine you're giving your friend advice, so you'll go into it without any emotions. So you give your friend logical and actionable advice, right? So once I understood that your thoughts create feelings, feelings create emotions, emotions influence the way that you act, and the way that you act creates habits, and the habits create your life. At this rate, I'm never going to make breakfast. But anyway, this is more important. And the reason this is so important that you understand this basic construct is because sometimes you overcomplicate everything, especially when we're emotional. No, it seems like I can't do anything with my life and I feel like it's going to be impossible. It doesn't matter how you feel. If you go to the gym constantly, you eat right, you will have a disciplined body. I mean, you will have a fit body, the callus on your hands. So how do you callus your mind? You need calluses. The same way you have it on your hand, you need it on your mind. And I remember hearing like motivational speakers and David Goggins, they'd be like, you need to callus your mind, callus your mind. And only till now, it's just clicked. How do you get callus in your hands? By doing uncomfortable things, right? So how do you callus your mind? By doing uncomfortable, mental, strenuous exercises. So for me, it was anxiety. And before, I would run away from certain situations because the thought of it would literally heat up my blood, and I would just want to run away from that situation. But that will do nothing for you, because every time you encounter it, you run away. So the problem will always be there. Once I realized that the obstacle is the way, when you go through it, then you have built a mental callus. You have done one rep. But just because you've done it once, it doesn't mean you've overcome it forever. Because once I realized that, actually, I'm a very anxious person, so how do I become confident? Two polar opposites. So if I'm anxious, I have the opportunity to become confident. Like, the actual problem is the opportunity. Problems are problems, they are opportunities. And once you run into that problem that you are running away from, you realize that we suffer so much in our imagination rather than in reality. Because once you do it, oh, that's it. And that happens to me that used to happen to me so many times until I realized this was it. But even once you have done it, even once you have shown yourself, that thought would always come back. That's why you need that proof. That's why you need that callus. The callus means repetition. So you have to constantly do the same thing. I don't have these calluses on my hands forever. The second I stop training and a few months go by, these hands will go back to how they were before. The same way, if you stop practicing and stop doing these uncomfortable things, you will go back to thinking the same way you were thinking. That's why it's a constant repetition. That's why it's a journey. It's never a destination. This is why you have to do the uncomfortable things, because the problem lies in the answer. The answer lies in the problem. Don't run away from it. That's why you need to chase discomfort, because you can have your excuses. That will make you feel good. But once you realize that you are to blame for the actions you are not taking, that's how you actually end up making progress. That's how you actually end up changing your life. So this is the reflection I wanted to share with you guys today. Do you have a callus on your mind? And the likelihood is, if you don't, then that's why your emotions control you. If you go to the gym concerned why you can't lift 100 kilos, just look at your hands. Have I put enough reps in? Ask yourself, have you put enough reps in? If the answer is no, then you have work to do. It's not the end of the world. Just what you're going to do from today onwards. Doesn't matter what you didn't do. But what does matter is what you do from today onwards. I want to leave you guys that is soon out. Didn't even make breakfast, gonna make breakfast now. I hope this is still recording. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM on Instagram at sumo_. That being said, if you like this video, drop a like and leave me down your thoughts below. Love you guys.